Hello guys and girls and welcome back. It is your boy Big John and I'm here today to show you how I was able to use the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame in order for me to be able to make $20,000 trading gold last year. Now this is a very simple strategy and I say it all the time and people just have to understand how simple this is. If you want to know how to get these trade ideas that I'm giving out pretty much every day or every week in the market, all you have to do is join this free Telegram group. The link for the group will be in the description below. And in this group here, you can see this is where I'm giving out the chart analysis setup. So here's an example of gold. I've already told you what trend I see it is in on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. You can see the actual chart analysis. So it's very simple. I'm literally just showing you exactly where we're expecting buys to be coming from or sells depending on the daily trend. So we can see here that there was a possible buy area from 2037.3 and this is exactly what we saw with price action, which I will go into later on when we're on Tradingview. There are other charts as well. You just have to click this pinned area up here on the top and you'll see that I keep giving out multiple different charts for you to find possible buy trade continuation setups. It's very, very simple guys and girls, and I'm sure you're going to love this one as I go through the video. Okay, so now we are actually on Tradingview and I am a little bit under the weather, as you might be able to hear from my voice, but hey, the grind has to keep going. So right now we can see I'm on the 4-hour chart and I've already mapped out all of the trades I've given out in that gold group, which there's proof of it. You can literally go back to any of the dates or around the areas when you search in that Telegram group and you will see that I gave out these trades before they have happened. So there is no cherry picking happening here. I'm just trying to show you how simple this method is and you can literally adapt this yourself just using a break of structure, supply and demand on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. So here we're going to go to the first setup. So we can see it over here on gold on Tradingview and we are on the 4-hour chart at the moment. Again, I've marked out all of my breaks of structure on the daily and the 4-hour and the supply and demand on both of those time frames, and we can see we had a supply level here and a daily break of structure. So if you're not too sure how to do breaks of structure in the market, then you can easily just look at any of my videos in the description below, and I've shown a full video on how to establish breaks of structure and change of characters. I've also got 2 videos on supply and demand, and of course this is part 3. So right now we can see here after that daily break of structure there was not a pullback to this area, so we wasn't looking for a trade setup, but the trend was still bearish. Now here we did have a break of structure here in the market, and with this break of structure down here in the market there was actually something which we do have on Neo, the indicator expert advisor, which is my own indicator product on MT4, strictly on MT4 for now, just so you understand. And there was a old daily support that became a new resistance. That's what a turncoat level is. So I actually gave an indication for this in the group, as you can see over here, and you can see right over here in the group this is exactly where I did show on Neo, the MT4 indicator expert advisor, that hey look, there's a daily D1 which it says here turncoat. This was obviously a daily break of structure as well, which was epic, and I'm saying we should be looking for sell trade setups from there. So that was actually a trade setup even though we didn't have price action going back to a supply or demand area. This is why it's great to also have the Neo indicator product. We will talk about this a lot more as we go through this video. Now you can also see here, even going all the way back into September, I'm doing the same thing by giving gold updates just to show you how I was able to do this through the course of the year. You can even see traders making profits from these trade ideas as well. And literally when we go to this chart over here, you can see that price action did break through this area. I even drew it out to scale on this chart, which was the daily turncoat area, and how we was looking for a possible sell continuation to clear this weekly / daily imbalance. We even had a liquidity zone down here as a possible end sell target. We also had a 4-hour area here, and you can see how I mark out all of the supplies or demands with blue lines. So this way you're also able to see how big your stop loss should be and the area and size of the actual supply or demand. Now when we head back over to Tradingview, you can see over here this is the trade setup. So we had a 4-hour break of structure here as well as a daily bearish break of structure. So we was bearish on 2 time frames. Then price action has pulled back to this level here, giving us a possible sell trade setup. So people would say to me, okay, how do you enter this trade setup? It's very simple. You've got a few options you can actually do. So what I tend to do is I don't actually wait. What I will actually do is just as soon as price action gets here, I will take my sell trade and I'll actually be looking for a possible sell setup to wherever the take profit is, exactly how you saw I have marked out already in the previous chart I gave out to the whole group for free. Now the next thing you can actually do if you want to be a little bit patient is you can just go over here to the right of your screen, and you can just click on this button and you can actually set yourself an alert on Tradingview like this. Now you'll see that it's created an alert line there for me, so as soon as price action goes through this area, I will actually get an alert set up. What I can actually do as well is just right click on this and go to edit, and now I have a bunch of options on Tradingview where I can change my setup for this price alert. I can change the price level, or I can actually make sure that the alert appears every single time price goes to that level instead of only once. So I could do that if I want to, and it will actually appear per minute. Now you can also go to notifications here, and you can set this up to give you email pop-ups. You can have pop-ups on your actual internet screen display that you're looking at. You can also get SMS text messages and all this type of stuff. Of course, guys and girls, you can play around with that as you need to. What I suggest you do when it does come to these setups is actually making sure you go down to a lower time frame. So do not set this up on the 4-hour chart. Actually go to like the 15-minute chart and then add this alert to your chart, because that way every time a 15-minute candle closes, if you set it to every time, you will get an alert every single minute or every single time that 15-minute candle actually does close and price action is around that area, which will give you a better chance of getting your best entry from this trade setup. And this trade setup from this area was actually an 8.6R trade setup, which was absolutely fantastic. Now, as we head over to here, we can see that the chart is actually turned into a daily bullish breakup structure here, and we did have a daily demand, but price action never pulled back to this area, so I never had to mark out any other daily demands or 4-hour demands here. We don't have to worry about that too much. Now, when we do go over to this area here, we can actually see that we had a 4-hour demand here, and we actually have a daily demand here. Let's just zoom into this. So when we zoom into this area, we can see price action on the 4-hour chart has broken this high here and actually pulled back to this area. It's the same as that thing you could do here, but I didn't mention last time, you can actually set yourself buy or sell limits on these areas as well, and this would have been a buy limit from this area for a continuation of a buy trade setup. You can see your stop loss would have been at the bottom of this area, and like I've said before, I keep it very simple for everyone. I would have put a blue line here for you, and there would have been another blue line like this for you here. So you would have already known from my chart analysis markup that, hey, if my entry is at the top of this demand area here for a buy, my stop loss needs to be below, and always give yourself some breathing room. Never put it right at the bottom here like this, because price action might do a little wick to that area. Give it maybe 10 to 15 more pips, just a little bit more of a breathing room for the trade to actually move. And this trade was actually a 14R trade, because this trade actually did go all the way to the all-time high, which was up here. Of course, that was a huge swing trade, and I do tend to say if the chart does break a daily trend in the opposite direction, you should be coming out of that trade if you are looking to take a 2 to 3 week or even longer swing trade, just in case of the pullbacks in the market, and maybe they are quite steep, so you don't want to end up losing the trade or actually making nothing off of the trade setup. So being a little bit more realistic with this trade setup, this was actually a 4.95 trade setup before the daily bearish breakup structure. When we come over here, we can see there is a daily bearish breakup structure, and there was a daily supply here as well. There was also 4-hour levels of supply in here as well, but just to make this video shorter, I'm getting straight to the point. And again, all of this was transparent for you in the Telegram group. Nothing is cherry picking. There were also losers as well, and all of these losers again are accounted for in the Telegram group. I'm just trying to show you how simple this strategy actually is, knowing how to do this. Now we can see here there was another 4-hour breakup structure with price action breaking this low over here, and this created a 4-hour supply. So when price action came back into the supply area, we saw a continuation of a sell trade. So I hope you're already starting to see what is going on right now with price action. This was a 2.5R trade setup, and you can see straight away all we are doing here is paying attention to the daily time frame, and we just care about the 4-hour time frame. So as soon as price action is in a daily trend, bearish or bullish, we will be looking for supply and demand areas based on the daily chart or the 4-hour time frame, preferably the 4-hour time frame, so we can get ourselves a smaller stop loss. Literally just these two time frames, that's all we're doing. And as soon as the daily gives us a trend bias, we're just looking for a supply or demand based on that daily trend bias. So we do not trade opposites, we always stick with whatever the daily trend is, and we keep it that simple. You do this process over and over again, and I've shown at least a 70% win rate over the period of the year with all of this data being collected. We had a daily bullish breakup structure at this level over here, and we can see price action has pulled out and it came back into this area. When it came back into this area here, we had a demand based on this candle here, and we had a demand based on this candle here. So what I did is I just covered both of them to make sure it covers it straight away, and rather than having two actual separate areas here. And this was literally again a trade setup I gave out, with your entry being right at the top of this level here, and then your stop loss being below this area with a little bit of breathing room. And then we can see what the trade setup actually did. So price action never went daily bearish again, and this was a run all the way up until the all-time highs, and this was a 12.6 R buy trade setup, which again is all written in proof before this happened in the Telegram group, which is absolutely free for everyone to be able to join. Now, with this setup actually happening, we can see over here that we had another daily break of structure at this level here, and when we had that daily break of structure there, we had another 4-hour break of structure here, which was bullish, and another demand level here. So when price action actually broke out of this level, we could see that it hung around this level for a little bit, and then it gave us a continuation of a buy. So we was able to catch another 12.2 R trade setup from here on top of the other 12.6 R trade setup, again all the way for a run up to the all-time highs. So that was two 12 R trade setups, which is absolutely crazy. So let's just have a little pause for a moment. Let me just give you some updates on the actual Neo indicator product and the services you get. This is Neo, the indicator expert advisor, which I've actually created and had coded for anybody that does join the VIP services. In the VIP services, you will get all of these services that you can see on the screen right over here. And within these services, this is the product that you actually be able to use in order for you to be able to trade. So this is going to give you support and resistance areas, and it's going to show you a multi-time frame setup of break of structures if you would like to use that. What I prefer to do is I like to trade something called Neo Strategy 2, which is using the H4 time frame and the daily break of structure. So pretty much similar. It gives you pretty much exactly what I'm talking about on Tradingview, but there's going to be some types of different trade setups that do appear sometimes. And there is actually an archive in my Discord which goes through all the strategies here. If you just see on the left of the screen, so you can see there's another strategy here with full annotations on how to take these trade setups. There's another one over here as well with videos and full annotations on how to take these trade setups, and we have some more here as well. Strategy 3 hasn't been completed yet, but of course there is a segment for that. There's also a full description manual on how to use Neo here with all of the components that you can see here as well on Discord, so you have nothing to worry about as well. Neo is actually lifetime access, so you're going to have so much time in order for you to master how to use this product. In the Neo VIP group, in the VIP section, when you do get yourself lifetime access with the product, I'm actually giving out all of these trade ideas here based on Neo, so you're going to know which trades to look at and which pairs to take. And again, the strategy is very straightforward, with you even being able to use buy and sell stop for these trade setups. And you can see how I'm giving them all out here straight away for you to be able to say, okay, I'm looking at taking this pair, and I've already told you you're looking for sells or buys. So we can actually see right now we are running at 30 winners and 6 losers over 7 weeks of trading Neo, and this is 1-to-1 R. You can actually take these trade setups a lot more than that, but I'm trying to literally say, if you was to take a trade and you was to say it's either going to go forward or back, and I'm going to either win or lose, over the last 7 weeks, 30 of those trades have been winners and 6 of them have been losers, again giving us between a 75 to 80% win rate with this trading strategy and with this product. Absolutely fantastic, people. Now let's get back to it. Okay, so coming back over to Tradingview, so a lot of people were trying to obviously catch this sell after the all-time high has actually been hit, and what I was actually doing is telling people to just patiently wait for the daily bearish break of structure. If we pay attention to over here on the chart, we can see price action actually broke daily bearish structure here. Boom, we saw this break, and with us actually seeing this break, we saw a 4-hour break after this as well. Price action actually pulled back to this supply level that was formed here, and this was actually an NFP sell. The concept of what I'm actually telling you here about the daily and the 4-hour chart is so strong that even NFP, when it got back into the supply area, it respected the structure of the daily and the 4-hour time frame, and it actually managed to do this sell trade setup all the way here. So you can see that the trend of the daily chart actually holds a strong bias on the market and what it can actually do, and this actually provided us with a 3.59 R trade setup. Now that's not only it, people, we're going to still keep going. So we had a daily bullish break of structure at this level over here, and we can see the same thing going on here. So look how I've marked it out, people. So I'm just going to remove this, and we can see the same thing again. After that daily bullish break of structure, we had a 4-hour bullish break of structure here in the market, and this is where we managed to see our buy continuation trade setup. So there was actually a loss at this area here at first, just to show you, because there would have been a demand level here, just to show show you an idea of a loss. After a 4-hour break, which happened with this candle breaking out here, there was actually a loss straight away there. So that's absolutely fine. You take losses, and like I say, it's all recorded in the Telegram. But when we came over to this area here, this time price action respected structure, and now we saw a buy trade continuation setup. So when the market pulled back to this area over here, boom, here we go. Here was the buy trade setup. We can see that went all the way up to here, and there was even a re-entry for the trade setup over here with this demand candle here, the breakout and the pullback, and you could have got a buy trade from here. There was also another one from here where price had a demand candle here and then a breakout with this candle. So even when price action pulled back here again for another time, there was a continuation. But we just marked this all up as one. As it was the end of the year, I wasn't giving out any more trades at that point unless you was holding the buy trade setup. Some people did get in, but overall, if we just mark it out as this one trade, that was a 5.69R trade setup. Guys and girls, I'm doing this pretty much every day and every week in the market. I've already given out a chart today on a possible buy trade setup, but if that one doesn't happen to actually play out, what are we going to do? We're just going to continue the process and see which direction the daily break of structure decides to take us in, and pay attention to the 4-hour or daily supply and demand re-entries. I'm literally doing 99% of the work for you. All you have to literally do is enter, put your stop loss, and then put your take profit. I am marking out where take profits can be, so you have nothing to worry about apart from actually entering a trade. It's not a monthly subscription service, so this is why I'm not telling you to get into the market right now or putting this buy now, sell now. There's no need for me to do that, guys and girls. You have to actually learn how to do this process yourself so you can become better. But I am doing 99% of the work for you. If you do want to get yourself into the Neo Indicator Expert Advisor product or the VIP, right now it's still lifetime access for 100 GBP. Once the Neo Indicator Expert Advisor does become a auto trading bot, it will be a monthly subscription for anyone that does join after that. I am trying to get it sorted for the end of Q1, not before, by the end of Q1. That's what I'm trying to do. So make sure you get yourself in now so you can be within the lifetime access package where you will get that as an update. John does the work, and my proof and my testimonies of all of the trades, as you'll be able to see over time, will show you that. I'll show you them right now. So as I've said, guys and girls, you can see here, there's a long list. You can go all the way through here and see what I'm actually talking about. So don't forget to hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe. It is your boy, Big John, and I am signing out. Let's go.
Started from the bottom like Drake. Got that young moolah, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.